Welcome to the Brad J. Show with your host, legendary professional announcer, Brad J.
Yeah, welcome to the Brad J. Show, another edition, show number 5. Count of 5. Hard to believe that been doing this 5 times. Welcome to April 19th, the day before 420, and we got news about that. Also, Brad J. Rewind today. I found some exclusive footage. Get this, that I shot from the Olympics in Sochi in Russia in 2014. Never posted it, nothing. Me announcing. Don't want to go into details, but the dude that I'm announcing might have won a gold medal. I'll just throw that out there. It's coming up in the Brad J. Rewind. But let's get right down to it. This day in history. Always fun to find out what happened on this day in history, isn't it? Right? Okay, this day in history, James Cook, on this day, discovered Australia. That's what they say. 1770, he discovered Australia. Which makes me think, okay, James Cook, he's a Brit. He discovers Australia. He sees this beautiful blue water. He sees these white sand beaches. And he goes back to England. I mean, come on. England, you had Australia. It was yours for the taking. You chose to stay in the gloomy UK. Didn't mean to rhyme there. So that's how I look at that whole thing. Why wouldn't you take Australia? You had these beautiful beaches. It was there. The surf was good, everything. And he said, no. All right. That was on the state. On the state, 1775, Revolution War began. The shot heard around the world. Also, that's considered, of course, 419 is considered Patriot Day. So this is the shots heard around the world. Lexington and Concord on this date happened. Still don't know. There's been never definite whether the British shot first or an American shot first. I know more Americans were actually killed on that one. But that's the story. This is it, right? Shot heard around the world. Wow. Johnny Cash on the state, 1963, releases Ring of Fire. So how cool is that? Birthdays on this day. Well, Tony Martin, Black Sabbath. Had a chance to see Black Sabbath perform back in 2004 with original members. Suge Knight. It's Suge Knight's birthday. He's in jail, but it's his birthday. 1965, Suge Knight was born. There you go. Ashley Judd, 68, birthday today. Jesse James, you know, the TV guy, the car guy. I think he redid cars. Well, he was born 69 on the stage. James Franco, 1978. Kate Hudson, 1979. Those right there are the birthdays. Okay, being that it is 419, right? And tomorrow's the big 420. Where did the whole 420 thing come from? It's been this thing where you hear so many different things. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to dive down deep, and I'm going to find out and get to the bottom of this whole 420 thing. How did it come about? What's the story on it? Okay. Some say that it was a police code. Now, here's how they came up with that idea. In the Bob Dylan songs, Rainy Day Women, number 12 and number 35, that's the name of the song, right? In that, you hear number 12 and number 35. Now, if you times 12 by 35, what do you get? You get 420. And also, there's a quote in that song, Everybody Must Get Stoned. So, that's Rainy Day Women, number 12 and 35. That's what they say. Then also, it's supposed to be a group of kids who went to high school near Marin, and 420 was their time to get together after school. That was told there as well. But there's never been a deciding factor on what is 420, how it came about, and all that stuff. So, there you go. Right there. The story on 420. OJ is still dead. Was the day of the Bronco chase. You remember this? I mean, some of you were too young for the Bronco chase where OJ's in the back and Al Cowling is driving the Bronco and everyone's wondering what the heck is going on. I was living in Venice Beach, California at the time, and we were looky-loos. We went to the bridge because we knew he was coming this way, and we went and saw the Bronco drive by. And then I realized, and I found out just a little history or a little stuff on that Bronco. It's in Tennessee where I'm actually doing my show from. In Hartford, Tennessee. It's in Pigeon Forge. Not that long. And guess what? The Bronco is for sale. Now that OJ is dead, the owners of the Bronco say that there's been all this interest. They will sell the car. the Ford Bronco is for sale. So Pigeon Forge is where it's at. You can Google that and find out more about it if you want to buy it. I would not care to have it. Lennon and McCartney. You know how that's like the most famous Beatles collab, right? Well, it's happening again. And you say, well, how is that? John Lennon's dead, right? Well, no, his son, Sean Ono Lennon, and James McCartney are doing, they've done a Beatles song called Primrose Hill. Check it on Spotify. I listened to it. Sounds very Beatle-esque. But Lennon and McCartney, wow, right? Together. In Paris, they're warming up for the Olympics now. I'm going to be there at the Olympic Games in 2024. I'm going to be doing TV commentator for Olympic broadcast. But I don't know the sports yet. But Paris is warming up, and they did a like server Olympics. You can't say Olympics because it can't be sanctioned with it, but it was a competition between 200 competitors, and they had to have a baguette, and they had to have a glass of wine, and something else on a tray. And they had to go 1.2 miles. Not sure the kilometers on that, but they had to go 1.2 miles. The fastest dude did it in like 13 minutes. 1,000 people were on hand. That's how Paris is getting warmed up. And one of the rants I got to just get off my chest right now before I get into the Brad J. Rewind is the fact that unable to do the X Games coming up in Ventura. I've been doing the X Games since 2000, and because of a prior commitment to the Warrior Games put on by the Department of Defense, that is going to be in Orlando, Florida. Happens to be 10 days. I'm going to be doing the webcast for that. I'll be doing my show, of course, from Orlando during that. But that also meant that I'm not able to go back to Ventura for a second time. And I don't think I've ever missed a Summer X Games since I first started. So sad on that. It's a rant. Sometimes when you're a freelancer, the jobs line up. Sometimes they don't. And unfortunately, not lining up on this one. But I'll report on it nevertheless. Brad J. Rewind. Okay, so I found this footage. This footage from Sochi that I'd shot. I think I had a GoPro in the booth, and I just shot some random stuff. And I happened to catch Sage Kotzenberg, his winning run. And I'm horrible at what I'm doing. I was hired to make the calls. I wasn't really good at the trick calling in 2014. I mean, come on, it's 10 years ago. I've improved immensely since then. But I call his run, and it's kind of embarrassing. I don't think I do a very good job of it. But the cool thing is I found the footage, and it's pretty darn cool to check it out. So check out the footage. Brad J. Rewind, taking the back all the way, 2014, Sochi, Russia, at the Olympics, Sage Kotzenberg's winning run. Gold medal. And next up for you, from the USA, Sage Kotzenberg coming in hot. He's our next competitor to drop in, a goofy foot, Sage Kotzenberg.
Сейдж Катценбург, следующий заездец, сборная Соединенных Штатов Америки. Он катается в стойке Гуфи, сейчас едет в своей стойке.
Nice, you got the tap on it.
Дотронулся рукой.
So Sage Kotzenberg doing his thing, the first run for him. Remember, he is the goofy foot. Putting it down, back to his regular stance. Now here he comes into the next jump. 2, 3 rotations. That right there is the 1080.
3 оборота, 1080 градусов. И...
Sage Kotzenberg coming out with a solid run. Sometimes we call him second run Sage with a Euro carve at the end for Sage Kotzenberg. And that right there, the Brad J. Rewind, taking it back, rewinding the clock back to 2014, Sochi, Russia. What a crazy experience that was. I was there literally for 7 weeks straight. I stayed there through the Olympics and then stayed the 2 weeks off and then stayed through the Paralympics as well. So crazy stuff. But it just goes to show you, you never know. I got film from all over the place. Stoked to have that, unearth that footage. And before I go, we got the Olympics coming up. I'm going to be out there. I'm going to report on it, do my shows from Paris 2024. But just to give you an update, USA team, kind of looking at it. Didn't know who's actually on the team right now. But looking at Jagger Eaton. Yep, Jagger Eaton is representing Park and Street for the USA, Red Bull-sponsored athlete. Now, the thing about Jagger is the dude does both. He's one of the only competitors who can compete in Park and Street. He got a bronze medal last year. That was in Street. Chris Jocelyn is on the team representing U.S. in Street. Nyjah Huston, known that dude for a very long time. Really want to see him come away with the medal. He didn't get one last year at the Tokyo Olympics, and you know he wants one as well. Braden Hoban in Street. Grace Moorhofer on the girls' side of things for Park. Bryce Wetstein in Park, too, as well. You got Mina Stess. She's going to be competing in Park. Ruby Lilly, Some say we're related. She's going to be competing in park, or she's representing U.S. in park. Gavin Botger also representing U.S. in park, too, as well. Liam Pace representing park. Tate Carew in park. Paige Hayne also in street. Marie Duran doing it for street. Poe Pinson for street. And Megan Guy for street. Those are your competitors. They're all representing Team USA. Now, that doesn't mean they're picked for the Olympics. That means that has to come down to things and how you do in the qualifiers. And right now, those qualifiers are currently going on. So I'll keep you updated. Who's going to represent the U.S. in skateboarding? Who's going to represent the U.S. in BMX? Well, I'll keep you updated on all that. That's going to do it for the Brad J Show. Subscribe on YouTube, the podcast on Spotify, also Instagram out there, and Facebook as well. It's the Brad J Show, show number 5 for your April 19th, 2024. See ya.